That's the end of day 15, folks. Wow. We're halfway through the third day mark at this point. And, I'm getting sleepy. I've noticed that my energy levels have kind of fluctuated. For this second week, it's been dragging a little bit. Had a hard time waking up. Coffee not really working. Caffeine's not really working. And I'm not sure that I'm necessarily going to bed at the right times either. I'm probably getting around 7 hours of sleep, but I'm not sure if I'm waking up in like the wrong sleep cycle or what exactly it is. But definitely been feeling groggy. Other than that, I'm trying to think of some update for you guys. Got some good news back for Quit Rich. Got the designs for the villain boss. So the boss of the Hammer Gang. We've been working on him for a while and trying to figure out, what he's gonna look like. And I got some concept sketches back. I had to make a choice between a couple different color schemes. Excuse me. Excuse me. A couple different color schemes, and before that, I had a couple different designs presented to me by the concept artist. Whether or not he'd be small and short, or whether he'd be this tall guy. I think we found a happy medium. I won't say that he's in between short and tall, but we found a happy medium between the different designs. And as far as the color palette, had to decide whether or not we were going to make this guy lime green. Yeah, maybe a little lighter than lime green, or if we're going to do more of turquoise, alien dolphin skin looking. I don't even know how to explain this color. More of a turquoise color. And we decided to roll with that. I asked a lot of people at work what their opinions were. I also got some input on what villains they preferred. And I had to give, a type of um, criteria for them to critique that on rather than just say villains overall. I asked them to pick their like three favorite Disney movie villains, for example. And what brought that up is when I introduced this one gal to the character and had her pick either this color green or this color green, she said she was drawn to the green color, the very green color, the one that looks like a lime. Uh, and her explanation for that was she believes that she's somewhat embedded in her head and programmed in her head that since Disney has used green in all their villain characters, and that green is uh, it's symbolic for envy and evil and nausea and money, and all these things encompass villainy very much. But outside of English culture, green is actually can be a very, very positive thing. um, it can be luck, it can be growth, it can be nature, obviously. There's a lot of positive aspects to green as well. So, that being said, about 9 out of 10 people pick the other one anyways. But once she started talking about Disney stuff, I started thinking, okay, well, I may got the look of this guy down, but I still need to work on his personality, what I want him to resemble, other than just physical resemblance. And so I started asking people what the top three Disney villains were, and kind of why, what made them choose that. And I got a lot of answers. I think at some point people were just trying to grab for obscurity. They weren't necessarily picking their absolute favorite, but they were just trying to draw out of the films that aren't as recent in people's memories. I myself had to mention the crazy lady from the first Rescuers uh, cartoon. There was mention of Shere Khan in the Jungle Book. Now, he is an underrated villain. And there was an interesting conversation that actually popped up from that, a little sub conversation about how, out of all the villains, he might have been the most justifiable one. He didn't have much problem with the animals. They did respect him as a dominant predator, top of the food chain, but he wasn't necessarily a bad guy to other animals as far as the movie portrayed, at least, the cartoon, the original Disney cartoon. I haven't read the Jungle Book, the actual story itself, prior to what Disney had their hands on. He just didn't like men, and it's because men controlled fire, and fire freaked him out and scared him. And he was also fearful of the damage that man would do to nature. It's kind of, yeah, it's rightfully so. Shere Khan was pretty justified. Other rare mentions were like The Sheriff of Nottingham, which is one of my favorite Disney movies ever, Robin Hood. I love that movie. It's an exceptional movie. And they don't make movies quite like that one. The theme, the atmosphere of that movie is something unreal. I also like Sword in the Stone. It would be up there with my top Disney. There's a lot of mentions of Scar. I would say out of the 2 or 3 most mentioned, I would say Scar was mentioned a lot. Ursula was mentioned a lot. And I believe Maleficent was mentioned a couple times. And all of them are great. Maleficent's just creepy. She doesn't necessarily have much to her other than what they've written, well after the Disney movies have come out. The original Disney story of Sleeping Beauty came out. Her own movie gave a lot of backstory to it. And I don't think they were necessarily basing their judgment on any of the stuff other than just the creepy factor that she gave in the Sleeping Beauty cartoon. As far as Ursula and Scar are concerned, I think those are really good picks. They're both very intelligent characters, very selfish characters as well. You have to kind of wonder why they turned the way they turned. I think both of them were tired of not being included. I think there's an argument there for that. Ursula was never invited, as far as I can tell, to the Little Mermaid's, the kingdom of, what was it? I don't think it's Atlantis, but if it was, whatever the King Triton's kingdom is called, all their little celebrations and operas that Sebastian's conducting. I don't know that Ursula was ever invited to that. She was considered a sea witch, kind of outcasted. And then you got Scar. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't notice Scar in any of the opening of the Lion King celebration, of the birth of Simba and the Michael Jackson dangling him off of a cliff style action scene. I didn't see Scar in any of that. But, and let me be fair, Lion King did it before Michael. I don't know. I don't really remember seeing Scar involved in all that. And both villains kind of took their ostracism to extremes, their vengeance to extremes. So don't let people be outcasted. You never know; they'll just go crazy on you. So that was part of the conversation, and there was some interesting feedback. I still have to digest it. I'm gonna have to sit down with this villain boss character and really stare at him and meditate on it and try to imagine what he will sound like and what kind of attitude he'll have. And hopefully when I get that all figured out, I'll be able to share them with you. I'm excited for you guys to see some of the stuff we got working on. So I got that, and I also got one of my in my piggy bank cartoon, I got him in a pose with a cap and gown, chalkboard, and a pointer stick. It's like he's a teacher, and that's going to be used as promotional material for season 2 of Quit Rich. So that's been my day, guys. That and a whole lot of work in a second job that I hate, and I can't wait to not do that and just do my own business full time. And one day I'll get there. In the meantime, it's grinding 2 jobs at once. So I hope that's my life. I hope you guys' 15th. There I go again. The 15th day of non-smoking has been easy for you. I hope so. I highly recommend that if you are still finding cravings, maybe get some things. One thing that helped once upon a time, I haven't used it this time, but I remember in other times I've tried quitting, I used oral fixation distractions. So those little coffee straws that they have at the gas station, or just full-size straws, and you just chomp on them. You may not like to do that because they might hurt your teeth. It might be easier for you to just go for bubble gum. But between flavored toothpicks and straws, one of the harder times and more unsuccessful times of me trying to quit smoking, I used that. This time around, I haven't really done too much to curve. I really didn't, I don't know, I didn't really have to deal with emergency cravings this time. And if anything came close to that, I just went and got like a soda. Now, soda is something I'm also planning on quitting as well. And that's just because I need to lose some weight, and also I'd like to try and go somewhat caffeine free. I don't know about 100%. I think I'll still have tea, but I'd like to go on a caffeine diet and pull the sugary flavored deliciousness out of my life. But for the time being, soda does work to kind of give me a taste of something that I enjoy very much, and it counteracts the wanting to stand outside and hold that smelly ass freaking cancer stick. All right, y'all. Good luck to y'all. I'll see you guys at the end of day 16. I'll have some more information for you. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about Quit Rich. I don't know. I kind of wing these things. At some point in time, I'll start talking about a little bit about my personal life and giving you guys some, ends that you may not find anywhere else. But I'm proud of all of you, and I look forward to hearing your stories. No matter how far in the future it is, if you were inspired by any part of this, or you appreciated it in any way, or you hated it, good feedback, bad feedback, whatever it is, I'd like to hear from some of the people that have actually sat down and listened to this thing, and let me know what you thought. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow.